Oh, it's been way too long. What is going on, everybody? We'll just give it a few more minutes and then we'll get started. What's up, Alex? How we doing, dude? Perfect timing. Let's get started. I don't want to put this off too long. It's been long enough. Just let me know how audio is. If you can hear music, if you can hear me. What's going on, everybody? WakoBako here. Yes, I'm finally back. It's been long-awaited return. Being busy is a complete understatement. I've been swamped. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I can imagine, dude. Especially your house. Yeah, that's got to be exhausting, dude. Good. Thank you. But yes, been busy with my new job, working for these guys. And then, you know, my military career's getting very, very busy, and very, very exciting time going through all of that. So I appreciate all the support. I know I'm not on as often, but just bear with me. Things will return to somewhat normal in a few weeks. But yeah, just trust me when I say busy does not even properly encapsulate how I've been lately, but I'm doing all right. I'm keeping it together, at least trying to. But without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, what is significant about this submission? As you can see here, and that looks terrible, but it's all good. This is my first submission as a CGC employee. Now, the other thing to disclose, right, just because I'm speaking on behalf of myself and not the company, it's just one of those things where, you know, I'm not an HR rep, I'm not the community manager, I'm not any of that. It's just me as a, you know, as a customer and an employee, just talking about CGC. Shout out to them, obviously. Super excited to be on board. It's been a great experience so far with them. And we'll kind of get into that a little bit. You guys can feel free to ask questions. But again, what I say about CGC is my own opinion. I'm not a HR rep. I'm not their public relations official. So don't try to pry too much, because there's always so much we can talk about. But as you guys can tell, right, we have the Final Fantasy backdrop. You saw it in the title. And I apologize for not previewing this. I just been so busy, I wanted to push this submission out. But this is a full Final Fantasy submission, 25 cards in this submission. I am super excited about for sure. But again, first submission as an employee. This should be super fun. Obviously, there's plenty more to come. I'm going to keep doing these, especially because it's all for personal collection here, especially with me not running the eBay store anymore. Yeah, I think I'm totally okay with that. Now I get to keep building on my personal collection. So the next submission will be number 50, number 50. It's going to be one of my bigger submissions. It's going to be very, very exciting. I'll let you guys know when I'm going to do the preview for that. It's going to be absolutely insane. And again, it's number 50, so you have to go big. But without further ado, let's cut this open and let's see how we did. Now, the cool thing about employee submissions, you still do the same routing and all the paperwork like that, but you just get a notice in your email that, hey, you can go to the front desk and pick up your submission. Here we go. 25 card submission. I am super excited about this, and I think I'm even more excited because, again, I didn't share with you the preview, so nobody but me knows what's in this submission, which makes it even more exciting. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a good time. I'm just trying to move this out of the way as much as I can. Let's see. I'm going to put it back up here as I look, kind of out of the way. Is that fine there? Move this up just a little bit more. Come on. There we go. Still see this very awesome playmat, which is funny because at the time this playmat came out, these were all the jobs from Final Fantasy XIV. They've yet updated this, so the updated one is over on my desk over here. But without further ado, here we go. Move away the nice little cover there. Again, 25 card submission. I'm super excited to see how this did. I'm going to bring something in to the stream once we recap this. It's going to be really, really fun, especially with what's in this box. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Good old iced tea mix. What's up, brother? How you doing? good to see both of you guys. Hopefully all is well in the ./frag universe. Make sure you guys go check them out. All right, here we go. First submission. Or I'm sorry, first card from submission number 49. Now, it's going to be very interesting because this is something that not too many people even know exist, and then even less have submitted and got graded through CGC. But let's take a look and see how we do on our very first. Oh man, oh, this is gonna be a fun submission for sure. So if you guys can see by the title and obviously by the transparency, yes, I did submit all of the 2000 Final Fantasy Art Museum cards, the special collaboration they did with Correct Coca-Cola, all of the transparent. I think it goes by whoever comments either the most or the most often. So yeah, it's weird, but here we go. They already look so sick. And if you guys remember when I showed these off the first time, again, they're transparent. Obviously you can see through them. But total population for this whole set, there's less than like, I want to say it's 100 cards that, you know, for this whole set that CGC is graded. And I also have a card that they haven't graded, which I am the proud owner of the only one, but we'll get to that in a minute. But here we go. Cloud Strife, original artwork from Final Fantasy VII. Tetsuya Nomura did the artwork for everything you're going to see here, so I'm super excited to show this off to you. Without further ado, let's see how we did. 3, 2, it looks so crazy holding this. Like, who would have ever thought, hey, let's put a transparent card in clear plastic. But this is so sick. I'm so excited about this. All right, anyway, 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's go. Oh, that's a great way to start. Absolutely insane. Gem Mint 10. I'm definitely going to look up the pop report after this, the population report, for those that aren't familiar with that term. Yeah, this is going to be so sick, but there we go. Flip it on over. Obviously, there's the back of the image there. Card number 1. I do have the full entire set, so there are 18 cards with this set. I'm going to just lay these out here. Hopefully, yeah, I should be able to lay these out. But, yeah, this is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to see how these did. All right, next. Cover this up, and here we go. On to the next one. Again, these are all from the year 2000. Now, how this promo worked was you got a regular size bottle of Coca-Cola, and the pack hung over it. A good mix of both, Alex. So I pulled majority of this set. I think out of the 18 cards, I pulled like 12 or 13, and then I bought the rest. Yeah, submitted all, and I did submit them in order. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. That's why, I'm so excited, especially with how these were kept. After I show you this, I'm going to grab the packs. So I do have a sealed pack still, so you can see how they were set up. But anyway, good old Aerith Gainsborough here. Very, very iconic. I mean, every character you're going to see here is very, very iconic, especially for Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII. But again, this is tripping me out. Yeah, 25 years old. Yeah, absolutely. It's insane, right? And they're Japanese exclusives. It's something they never did in America or anywhere else in the world. But here we go. Let's take a look and see how Aerith did. Again, names on the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. And again, guys, for how old these cards are, and you can kind of see some of it here, and that's the cool thing about them being transparent. You know, again, for how old they were just sitting in these packs, and it's a single card in each pack. So it's not like a regular like Pokemon or any other kind of trading card pack. It was a single card in a pack. But hey, I'll take whatever grade I end up getting because, again, they're super rare. You don't see these. And then to get them graded on top of that makes it even crazier. But let me grab the pack real quick. Oh, man, this is the other reason why I wanted to get these graded, because I have a sealed pack. Now, this is what the pack looked like. Obviously, you can tell it had a little hanger on it. Yes, I did put it in its own little envelope, so it's nice and protected. So you bought the Coke. This slid over the top of the Coke like that, and then it's one single card in these. which is absolutely insane. But yeah, this is what you would get here. It shows all the different cards in the set right there. You guys can take a look at that. I've shown this off before, but yeah, so not only do I have a complete set graded now, but I have a sealed pack still, which, again, it was just one of those things I happened to stumble upon, and anything Final Fantasy, oh, that's not going to work. There's way too much glare. I'll bring this back out for anyone that didn't see it or pops in the stream a little bit later. But yeah, it was just this random thing. I was like, oh, wow, these are really cool. And then I bought a whole bunch of packs, and then I got everything graded. So, all right, here we go. Next, take a look and see what we got here. Good old Barrett. Again, this artwork is just so iconic. A lot of this artwork was obviously created for the game. So I don't think CGC grades the packs. I know I could send it to PSA and grade it, because I think they're the only ones that grade sealed packs. That would be kind of nuts too, to grade the pack on top of it. Maybe if I get another one, I'll give it a try. But yeah, a lot of the artworks in these headshots, if you will, were used in the games, right? Especially when you went through character menus or you looked through the manual in the book. A lot of the artwork you see here was pulled from those. So again, RC, or no, I'm sorry, that's C03. I do have the full 18 card set plus some extra cards, extra special surprises at the end. But without further ado, let's take a look and see how Barrett did in 3. This is tripping me out. I know I'm like freaking out right now, but this just looks absolutely insane. And the display I'm going to put them in, I can't wait to show you guys. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay, nice. Another 7. And again, guys, for these cards being as old as they are, and it's one single card in a pack, that's awesome. It's one of those things where, again, I'll take whatever grade. I'm glad, and even, again, for grades, these, a lot of people aren't super excited about, you know, anything under a 9 or a 10, but, like, you have to consider how old these are, and they were just sitting, and again, in a pack like this, someone's just sitting on them from the year 2000. I was shocked, absolutely shocked to see that 10 to start off, especially with Cloud. But let's keep rolling. Got a bunch more to go through. So here we go. Good old Red 13. Again, we're still in the Final Fantasy 7 part of this. We'll hit the halfway point and start covering the Final Fantasy 8 characters as well. But it is main cast for both games. And again, just it just looks so weird. Like, this is something you don't see, and I know I don't have a big channel or anything, but please share this, pass this around. I'll probably post a link again on Instagram after the fact, but this is so insane to see these. But here we go. Red 13, card number 4 in the set. Let's take a look and see how we did. 3, 2, 1. Oh, man. So close with the 9.5. Yeah, what? I think Icy had a stroke there. Yeah. Yeah. 9.5. So close to the 10. And, you know, and it's something that, so obviously when I submitted this, right, like I work in the building. I don't get to grade my own stuff. Full transparency. I know people probably think that, but that's not how it works. It goes to another employee and they go through the same proper steps, same like I do with every other thing that I grade. But both of my immediate managers came up to me and said, your submission is absolutely insane. There was a bunch of people at work that were super hyped to see this. And the one additional card, and we'll get to it in a second, but it's something, again, they haven't graded before. So I have a pure 1 of 1. But yeah, everyone was so excited to see these. Yes, I come on, man. I know that. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, and again, it's something that you don't really see too often. I think the only other complete set I've seen was through Beckett. And they were all either 9s or 9.5s for the whole set, which is absolutely sick. But hey, we're still doing really, really well. We got, you know, a 10, 2 7s, and a 9.5. Let's keep rolling and see how we do from here. Ooh, absolutely amazing. Good old Tifa. Lockhart here, very, very iconic character. I mean, every character from Final Fantasy VII is iconic in some form or fashion. But again, just this old school artwork where it's just that artwork, nothing else. You get the little Coke logo in the top. You get the names on the bottom. You get the square logo down here. Yeah, this is super exciting. All right, Tifa, let's see how we did. Card number 5. Our magic card is so toxic. Yes, I know a lot of the Final Fantasy cross Magic the Gathering cards were absolutely insane, especially hers, the Cactar. There's a bunch of the commanders that are used in the commander deck play that are absolutely insane as well. But let's see how Tifa did in 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice. Let's go. Got the mint 9 on this one. You know, the one thing I wish was I wish I would have talked, or I got the chance to talk to the person who ended up grading this, right? We have a bunch of graders at CGC. But just for them to be like how do you know, like the 4 main criteria, right? Like centering, edges, surface, and the corners. It's got to be tough to grade at least one of those, right? Like surface, yeah, especially if there's stuff on the surface, right? There's some grime, some dust. The edges, right? Obviously, you know, it goes about like the actual edges of the card, and then the corners. But grading centering on this must have been very tough. So shout out to whoever ended up grading this. Mad props to you. I plan on sending goofy stuff like this again and real obscure stuff, so I apologize ahead of time. But we're looking really good so far. Still got more Final Fantasy VII cards to go, but let's see what's next. All right, here we go. Good old Sid Highwind. Man, this artwork is just absolutely insane. Every bit of this is so nostalgic and iconic. I'm just super glad that not only do I have this complete set, but I have it graded now too. And I do have a plan for how I'm going to display this again. I'm going to show you at the end. I do need to order some other things, but you guys will get the gist. Anyway, Sid Highwind, card number 6. And again, it even says right there, Coca-Cola edition. Very, very exclusive. Japan exclusive, or Japanese exclusive, rather. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, 6.5. Okay. All right. Not the craziest, not the highest, but again, for how old these cards are, I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. It's got to be tough to grade these. And again, majority of these cards came right from the packs into a sleeve, you know, the grading sleeves, and then to CGC. So, but again, I'll gladly take that. That's not bad. It would be kind of crazy to see like a 1 or a 2, right? Especially with how these cards are designed. They'd have to be like all kinds of creases and stuff in it. And like usual, right? I can log into my CGC account and look at all the high-res images, which I plan on doing. It gives me a little more zoomed-in view on why the cards turned out the way they did. But again, I'm just happy to have them. So here we go. Next. Good old Kate Sith. Another very, very iconic character. And a lot of these characters have been, you know, reimagined, redesigned in other Final Fantasy games ever since Final Fantasy VII came out. Obviously, right now with Remake and Rebirth out, and then, you know, Part 3 coming whenever. Yeah, all these characters have definitely been reimagined, but they're still pretty true to their core. But let's see how Kate Sith did. Again, card number 7. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, nice. All right, I'll take it. A nice mint 9 right there. And again, it's just so crazy to look at this. It's just, man, absolutely beautiful. Again, that small little image there, full transparent card. And I like how it's a little more like opaque, so it's not completely transparent. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's huge. So Alex just said, my friend's kid pulled a 1 of 25 signed Messi card. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And the rare Umbreon, yeah. Start buying lotto tickets with that kid, because he's pretty lucky for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that Messi's huge, so I can only imagine how insane that card is and how expensive it is. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, hold on. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. Excuse me. All right. Here we go. So what are we on? Card number 8. Cover that up. Ooh, good old Vincent Valentine. Or Valentine, sorry. It is crazy to think that there's characters from the original Final Fantasy VII game that were completely missable characters, Vincent being one of them. There was a huge process you had to go through to unlock Vincent, but if you didn't, or if you just happened to walk past the area where, you know, you started that quest, if you will, you could play the whole game and have no idea who Vincent is, which is absolutely insane. There's another character we're about to see here in a few minutes that is another missable character. I think that one's a bit easier to get, but yeah, still very, very iconic character. If you guys didn't know, Vincent actually got his own game on PlayStation 2, I think it was at the time. It was another Final Fantasy VII spinoff. It was called Dirge of Cerberus. Well worth looking into. Check out some YouTube videos. If you still got a PS2 around, pop the game in, have fun with it. It wasn't the craziest or the flashiest game, but it was still really, really fun, and it gave Vincent some more limelight. But without further ado, let's check the grade. Card number 8, 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's go. The Gem Mint 10. Obviously, if we get a pristine, you guys will see the different colored label there, but still, Gem Mint 10. I'm so interested to see how many of them are out there, especially pulling up the pop report after this. If anything, I'll take screenshots. I'll post it on the community tab. I'll put it in Discord, and I'll put it on Instagram as well. But again, absolutely beautiful card. And again, Final Fantasy Art Museum, the Coca-Cola edition. You just don't see these, and it's absolutely insane to see one that's 25. Yes, aging myself a bit too, but this is 25-year-old card that's still in gem mint quality. Absolutely insane. All right, here we go. On to the next. This should be the last Final Fantasy VII character, which, here it is right here, good old Yuffie. Now, this is the other missable character from Final Fantasy VII, the original game, not the remake and rebirth that's going on now. But Yuffie was another missable character, which is kind of crazy because of how iconic she became over time. But yeah, absolutely amazing character. She's got a super witty personality. And even, like, if anyone hasn't seen it, I highly recommend checking out the better Final Fantasy movie, which most true fans only recognize it as the only Final Fantasy movie. You start talking Spirits Within, we're going to end up fighting. I'm just putting it out there. But if you've seen Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, it takes place years after Final Fantasy VII. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. You can probably stream it somewhere. I think it's even worth buying, but that's just me. Anyway, Yuffie, the last Final Fantasy VII character, but don't worry, we still have plenty more cards to go through. But let's take a look and see how Yuffie did in 3, 2, 1. Oh, 7.5. Okay, not bad, not bad. And again, it's got to be so tough to grade these. And again, like, you see some of the smudging and some of the wear and tear on these cards. It's inevitable. The ones that, you know, were graced with those 9s and 10s somehow survived all the chaos. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. So there are all 9 of the Final Fantasy VII characters. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to hold off on everything else for just 1 second. We still have plenty more to go through because I want to show you how I plan on displaying these. And it's something you guys have seen before. Conveniently, I'm going to stack all these up before I put my own sleeves on them, which I'll get in just a minute. But, so you guys have seen a display that I've used before for other Final Fantasy cards. I'm just going to move these off to the side. Still absolutely insane to see that cloud in a 10. But let me slide this over real quick. Let me grab the display and move this out of the way so I don't knock anything over. Yeah, let me move this just to make sure. I got to be super safe with this. Okay, so just for the sake of camera, I'm going to put it here. But you guys have seen this display before, right? And yes, I know it's sideways, guys. So this is currently housing all of my the 2023 Art Museum set. These are all the artworks from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. It was cool that they added Zack in this. But yeah, so now what I'm going to do is, if I can do this carefully, I'm just going to demo it. I'm going to set it all up later. But come on, let's see if I can do this without messing this up. This is where I get nervous with this, because this display, this is from Vaulted, by the way. I'm definitely buying 2 more of these. I just wanted to show it as an example. Let me see if I can pop one of these out. So in theory, you're supposed to be able to push on the top or the bottom. It swings out. Let me give this a try real quick, just because I'm trying to be extra delicate, especially with, okay, there we go. So just got to push a little bit tough with this, but I don't want to break this absolutely beautiful, pristine. So in theory, what I'm going to do is, when I buy the other 2 displays, just going to sit in here like this. Oh, that's going to look so good. Oh, that's going to look amazing. Let me do this real quick, just for the hell of it. Let's see if I can get these out of here without messing it up. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Again, these are all the artworks from Advent Children. So you can see how far along the art museum artworks have come. But yeah, this is, oh, come on. I'm trying to be careful with this, because obviously I don't want to mess up any of these cards. I think the issue is, to be honest, is because I put these sleeves over them, it gives it a little bit more of a snug fit. I may not do it with these, especially because there is a plexiglass cover that goes over it. But yeah, absolutely beautiful display. Another 9-card display. But yeah, I need to order 2 more of these. Shout out to Vaulted already. You'll see my order coming through here soon. But yeah, very, very cool displays. You can, you can put them on the wall. I normally just have them sitting on a shelf currently. But so how this fits in, again, you just slide them in. I'm going to put them in order. And again, just fits nice and neat. And again, they do fit a lot better without the sleeves on them. Nugget, how we doing? Welcome, welcome. We're just showing off how I'm going to display the first part of my submission. And yes, I know it's sideways. I apologize. I'll post pictures later. But yeah, so just some of the Final Fantasy and Coca-Cola collab from the year 2000. Absolutely insane. But it took a little bit of a break to showcase the display I'm going to put them in. Good old Vincent with the 10. Man, this looks so good, especially with just the artwork being in that central piece like that. Oh man, this looks insane. So I'm just going to try and show it the best I can there. Yeah, that's going to look so good. And there is a cover that goes over this. So just to show this off, I know you can't see the whole thing, but it's all right. There is a magnetic cover, which I know this is dusty, but it snaps right on top and keeps that nice and protected. So yeah, this is going to look absolutely insane. Again, I'll take pictures of all this and I'll put it up on Instagram and everywhere else after the fact. But don't worry, these cards here, I'm going to buy another one of these displays for. So in theory, I'll have 3 of these displays. We'll have the original art museums, and then we'll have the updated art museum set. All right. Let me put this over here. Let me move this out of the way so we can get back to the submissions. Yeah, that looks absolutely insane, by the way. I can't wait to show you guys the pictures. All right. Continuing on. We still have this many more cards to go through. Now, again, keep in mind, we still have 9 more cards of the Coca-Cola Art Museum, and then I put in some extras somewhere in this area here. I cannot wait to see how this graded. Again, this is my first employee submission since I've been hired on at CGC. But here we go, on to the next. Let's see how we do. Starting off with good old Squall Leonhardt. Obviously, this is from Final Fantasy VIII. Obviously, reimagined again in Kingdom Hearts throughout that series. But yeah, again, these cards are just tripping me out. Just the transparency behind it. And again, whoever ended up grading this at CGC, shout out to you. This couldn't have been easy. I give you a lot of credit. I'm still learning and training, specifically with Pokemon for the time being. But I have, worked on some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, some Magic, some of the playing cards that are out there. So yeah, these couldn't have been easy. So again, shout out to whoever ended up grading this. All right, let's take a look and see how Squall did in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, nice. A good start there. It didn't beat out Cloud, but hey, you know what? It's all good. That's still absolutely insane. Again, these cards are 20 years old, and we start off the Final Fantasy VIII part of this set with a beautiful mint. Absolutely beautiful. All right. A little bit of glare there, but bear with me. Again, we'll recap everything, but let's keep going and see how we did here. Next, good old Renoa, sorry. I've played every mainline Final Fantasy game, but Final Fantasy VIII was one of those games that it was a great game for sure, and it definitely needs one of the remakes, remasters, whatever you want to call it. But it was one of those games for me. I just played through it, got the one experience, and I didn't really put too much time into it outside of it. The games I did play a lot were like Final Fantasy VI, obviously Final Fantasy VII, 10. Obviously the MMOs 11 and 14. You guys have heard me talk about before. I've played that for literal years of playtime. 12, yeah. So I mean, like, I went super heavy into the later games and then went back and started playing some of the originals, but played a bunch of side stories as well. Long story short, what I'm getting at is I'm not overly familiar or don't have the best memory when it comes to Final Fantasy VIII. I know it has a huge following for sure. So no disrespect to the hardcore Final Fantasy VIII fans. But here we go. Let's see how Renoa did in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay, a 7. I'll take it. Again, this couldn't have been easy to grade, right? Especially those 4 main criteria. And you're only really going off of an image and then kind of using, the labels as that point of reference for centering. But still absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to complain about that. It would be interesting to see what the lowest grade we're going to get. I would absolutely love to see a pristine for any of these. I think that would be nuts. But again, I'll take what I can get. I'm not trying to be greedy. Here we go. On to the next. So here we have Irvine, good old cowboy over here. Again, you got the name in that bottom right corner. Roscoe, how we doing? Just going through some of the Final Fantasy Coca-Cola art museum cards from the year 2000. Yes, they are transparent. Hello. But yeah, we just went through all the Final Fantasy VII cards, which we will recap. But yeah, we're on to the Final Fantasy VIII cards now. So here we go. Card at number 12 in the set. Let's see how it graded in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, nice. Okay. 8.5. I would gladly take that. Absolutely amazing. And again, I'm going to say this multiple times, and it's just to emphasize the point. Like, these cards are 20 years old. They've sat in a single pack like this, because this is the pack they came from, somewhere in the world. In someone's drawer, a closet, someone's attic, but they've just been sitting in these kind of packs. There's only one card in there, so it's not like you have to worry about a bunch of cards, like the Topps Pokemon cards where they kind of get stuck and stacked together. It's one single card in this. And I think even all these years later, the money I paid per pack was well worth it, especially for this experience here. So, and to say that I have a complete graded set, especially in sequence, if you will, especially with all the asserts. Here we go. On to the next. Good old Selfie. She kind of, she's another iconic Final Fantasy VIII character, of course. Again, another character that was reimagined for Kingdom Hearts. And you get to see her kind of grow up through Kingdom Hearts as well and all the other iterations. But very, very iconic character. I think the Kingdom Hearts series just further helped this character out for sure. But here we go. Selfie, let's see how you did in 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice. There we go. We get the Gem Mint 10. Absolutely insane. Again, I wouldn't even, and this is coming from someone where, and I loosely say this because I'm still in training, but I am a professional card grader, right? As weird as that sounds. But yes, that is my job title. It's got to be tough grading these, and to especially the criteria and the methodology behind how we grade cards, which I cannot talk about. Don't ask. Do your own research or go on the website. But to make it even tougher, where these cards are, what, like 70, 80% transparent. It's got some text here, and then you're just going off of a central image. It's got to be tough. But we keep pushing on. Let's see what we got next. All right. On to the next. Good old Zell here. He's got that huge Mike Tyson face tattoo before Mike Tyson. So obviously we know who he copied. But yeah, absolutely awesome artwork here. And again, a lot of this artwork was taken from the games or the magazines or even the strategy guides back then, and then they put them for this specific collaboration. But here we go. Let's see how Zell did in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, a 9. So close. So very close. And again, Tetsuya Nomura, if you're not familiar with that name, very, very, very famous and iconic Final Fantasy character, designer, illustrator, if you will. He's done character design for majority of the Final Fantasy series or the franchise, if you will. Has huge parts in Kingdom Hearts, pretty much is like the godfather of Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, anytime you see that name around, you know that there's some amazing artwork behind it and a massive legacy behind it. All right. Got 5 down. We got 4 more to go, and then there's still additional cards after that. So let's take a look and see what we got next. Another absolutely beautiful card here. So this character's name, and this is tough to pronounce, so I apologize. This is Quistis. Quistis, yeah. You know, once I looked at this artwork and I kind of sat on this for a little bit, she definitely reminds me of Annie from Attack on Titan, right? For all my Attack on Titan fans out there. Definitely looks like the female Attack Titan for sure. But again, just absolutely amazing artwork. This is card number 15 in this very, very small, very, very limited subset for the art museum. But let's take a look and see how she did in 3, 2, 1. No, a 9. All right. So close to the 10 once again. But hey, I'll gladly take it. I'm not going to complain about any of the grades we get for these, especially for how old these are. Absolutely beautiful card. And again, I can't get over the transparency behind them. All right. So looks like the Final Fantasy 8 batch is doing a little bit better than 7. But, you know, let me know which one is your favorite in the comments, or if you're watching this during the live stream, feel free to chime in. But yeah, absolutely amazing. So on to the next, we have Laguna. Definitely looks like a dude that's, you know, would be chilling in California for sure. I don't know why he gives me that vibes, but it just does. Maybe the name helps. But card number 16, again, Coca-Cola edition. You see their logo. You see the square emblem on the bottom. Let's take a look and see how Laguna did in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay. 8.5, that near mint to mint plus. Again, you kind of see some of that right there. Some blotches and dots right there. Again, it's bound to happen. The cards that graded this high were just somewhat graced, and they were taken really well care of. And just, again, especially the cards that I opened up on the stream. If you guys remember when I opened a lot of these packs before, it was from the pack very delicately into a grading sleeve and then into this process here. So, all right. But again, not bad. We're doing really, really well. Can't wait to see what is next. So here is Cypher, another character that's been reimagined in a few other IPs, if you will, especially when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. And it's funny because a lot of Final Fantasy characters, which for anyone that keeps up with Kingdom Hearts, it's a huge demand. And obviously a lot of people have to remember it's a Disney game. I know Square Enix has huge influence on the game, but it is a Disney IP. But Square Enix impact is obviously known, and it's been such a... So how can I word this? It's been such an impactful part. So when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and there was really no presence of the Final Fantasy characters until later, I think it really impacted the game. But I'm interested to see where they go, especially with Kingdom Hearts 4. If it was up to me, yes, the Final Fantasy characters need to be involved in some form or fashion. you can't have Kingdom Hearts without that collaboration, right? Someone from Square met someone at Disney in an elevator somewhere and said, hey, I have this crazy idea, and pitched it, and it spawned such an iconic franchise. Anyway, rant over. Let's keep rolling. Let's see how Cypher did in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, nice. All right, I'll take it. Solid, straight up 8 right there. Absolutely beautiful. Again, another Final Fantasy VIII character here. Illustrated, designed, inspired by Tetsuya Nomura. All right, so that's card number 17. So that means there's one more card for the art museum. And then we get into... I don't even want to call it filler because there's so many other awesome cards we're going to go through. But here we go. Let's take a look and see how we did. Man, the artwork on this is insane. So here we go. We have Ida, the Witch. Another very, very iconic Final Fantasy VIII character. I mean, this is literally the whole cast right here of Final Fantasy VIII. Absolutely amazing. The artwork just beautiful for sure. But again, you see there, card number 18, the last one. It's insane to hold all 18 cards, especially now that they're graded. In sequential order, again, you see 0, 18 there on the cert there. All right, let's take a look and see how we did with this one in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, nice. Ending off with a 9 on this. Absolutely beautiful. I'll take it. There's no way anyone can complain about these. Even the other grades for the Final Fantasy VII part of this, absolutely beautiful. Obviously, we did a great job with Final Fantasy VIII. So what I'm going to try and do is, let me try and grab, well, no, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is the full Final Fantasy VIII part of the set. I will bring back the Final Fantasy VII part in just a little bit, but we still have... So if you do the math, how many cards do we have left? Someone put it in chat. Out of a 25-card submission. Come on. Take your time. I'm going to take a sip of water here in a second, let you figure out how many more cards we still have to go through. The next card that I'm going to show you, and spoiler, not spoiler, is the first and only card that CGC has graded from the from this series. Just gathering all these back up. Don't worry, I'm still here. Appreciate everyone coming through. I know it's been a little while. I know it's a super late stream, but again, I truly appreciate everyone coming through. It's been too long, but don't worry. I will be back to our regularly scheduled program here very soon. Just got to bear with me and keep showing support. I truly appreciate it. All right, let's make sure I have this the right way. Okay, so we got that. All right, so next is a card that, again, it is the first and only card that CGC has graded. It does have a tie with what we just saw. This is so cool because I have so many of these now, but I wanted to at least be the first one to have this graded and in my collection. I guess it's bragging rights. It's more of just, it's cool to know that it's, you know, I've submitted something and I was the first one. It's something that I get to hold on to. I'm never going to part with any of these cards. These are going to stay in my collection. But check this out. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, it comes in a 9. Wow, absolutely amazing. So, if you look at the title, first edition insert card. So, if you guys remember when I opened these before, and yes, there is a blank back to this. So, when these cards came through, and that's so sick. That's how it looked in the pack, right? So this card, this insert card, is the backing to all of these cards. So I have plenty more, obviously. But that's what it looked like when I took it out of the pack for the very first time. So it's kind of crazy to think that, you know, again, and even when I did my submission and talking to some of the people at work, they were like, yeah, we've never graded this. Do you have any info on it? And I was able to help out, and we made sure the label was correct. And yeah, so again, this is the insert. And again, same thing with this, right? If you want to put it over, man, that looks so sick. But that's how it looked when I took it out of the pack. And then, you know, obviously I kept all of these. I plan on grading more because I have plenty more. But yeah, absolutely amazing. The insert card from this. Super glad to have that graded. All right, next. 6 more cards to go. I cannot wait to see how we do, especially with this one. So if you guys remember when we did that stream, I had 2 of these. And of course, you guys know I had to grade both of them. I'm super excited to see how we did. But again, Tifa makes a reappearance in the second card. Again, I pulled both of these during the stream. Let's see how this one did. Man, my brain is fried. All right, let's see how this one did in 3, 2, 1. Oh, and she gets the gem in 10. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely insane. Absolutely beautiful. So, I move this over. And again, we're going to do a full recap here in a second. But just to show and make sure I keep all these in order so I don't mess myself up here. Come on. Where's she at? There she is. So, the one from the sequential set and then the secondary one. Still absolutely amazing. Super excited to see how well both of these did for how old these cards are. Absolutely insane. But yeah, again, I had to grade both of them. I'm glad they both did as well as they did. All right. So I'm just going to keep laying these out here. So, let's see. What did I... Oh, okay. So, yeah. So I'm going to leave these here. This wraps up the Coca-Cola collab for the Final Fantasy Art Museum. Now, the next cards, a bit of a mixed bag. I do remember what they are. One of them is super, super old. And I'm excited to see how it did. Oh, man, look at that. You know, shout out to Mewtwo Dude. He actually hooked me up with this card. Final Fantasy VII. This is from Cardass, the same company that did a lot of Pokemon cards back in the day. They did a lot of vintage cards before they became trading cards. So again, this is from 1997. Absolutely insane. Very, very iconic artwork. You know, we went through all the Final Fantasy VII cards. And of course, Sephiroth wasn't a part of that collab, but I had to pull this out and I had to get this graded to kind of fit with everything else. It is that same artwork and design. But again, this card is even older than the Art Museum cards, 1997. Obviously, this is the year that Final Fantasy VII came out. But let's see how he did. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice. I will absolutely take that. For a card that's that old, and again, so Cardass was made by Bandai. Again, made in Japan. Yeah, absolutely insane. For a card that's that old, older than 25 years. You can do the math. I'm not trying to keep aging myself here. But yeah, for a card that old and an 8.5, I will absolutely take that. Again, a huge shout out to Mewtwo Dude. I know you're going to see this at some point. I truly appreciate you. Make sure you check him out as well. He's been doing a lot of CGC submissions. He does like fan submissions, kind of like what I was doing before. So definitely hop in on those submissions. He's a great guy. He's got a crazier Final Fantasy collection than I do. His Gundam collection is nuts. So shout out to Mewtwo Dude. I can't wait to see what you think of this submission. So here we go. 4 cards left. So had to throw this in here, right? Especially with all the other Final Fantasy cards here. This is Cloud and Red 13. Now, you see it's Japanese, 2024. On the Japanese side of the Final Fantasy TCG, which this is, all these sets were called chapters, where in the English side of it, they were all the Opus sets, right? Up till, well, even now, like the latest set is still Opus 25, but it has an actual title to the name, or to the set, sorry. In the Japanese sets, they were only ever just called Chapter, which is absolutely sick. But very, very awesome card. Again, this one, the artwork is a bit different, as you can tell. This one was done by, and again, very, very iconic illustrator, probably the biggest and well-known Final Fantasy illustrator. In comparison, I've made this comparison before. Mr. Amano, who is the illustrator for this, is like the Arita of Pokemon, right? That's how you compare it. So how massive and how popular Arita is for Pokemon and his style of artwork, that's Amano for Final Fantasy. So super glad to have this card in my collection. But let's take a look and see how it graded. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Let's go. We get the Gemmin 10. Absolutely beautiful. That's the other thing that's different too with the Japanese Final Fantasy cards. Let me check the music playlist real quick. Oh, it's almost done. We get to restart it. Perfect. So the Japanese Final Fantasy trading cards have a different back than the English. Actually, I think... All right, you'll be able to see a comparison here very, very soon. But these are the Japanese backs. So I love that very, very old, like almost traditional Final Fantasy artwork and design, even on the back of the card. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. To get the Gemmin 10 on that is absolutely insane. And again, just for a heads up, I have no idea of the value of any of these cards at the time of this stream / recording. I do all my research after the fact. I don't look anything else up. But yeah, here we go. 3 more cards to go. Oh my God. I'm just going to set that down. Oh my God. Comparison like I was talking about. Japanese Final Fantasy TCG back. English Final Fantasy TCG back. Now, the thing I like about the English one's just that ever so slight better. It's a matte finish back that has a really, really nice texture to it. And it's a little bit of a thicker cardboard. People think it's cheaper. I think you're absolutely insane. But if you don't recognize this logo, if you're not familiar with CGC's updated logos, this is a pristine 10. So it is the step up from Gemmin 10. Other comparisons like Beckett has like their black labels and they have their own pristines, but this is this is something else. Oh, this is absolutely insane. And I think the best part about this, and I do apologize again because I didn't do a submission preview. If you guys look at all my other submissions, I always do the submission preview so we can kind of talk about it before and after. This just makes this ever so sweeter for me because I know what card this is, and to know it's in. Oh my goodness! Hold on, I gotta take this in for a second. So this and the last 2 cards that you're gonna see, I bought all of them together at the same time. I was sitting on them for so long, and I was finally like, all right, we gotta do a Final Fantasy submission, and to see it in a pristine is. Even if you're not a Final Fantasy fan, you're going to absolutely love this. If you don't, please explain how you don't in the comments or in chat. But here we go. I had a feeling we were going to get at least 1 pristine, maybe more. We still have 2 other shots, but here we go. This is absolutely insane. And I know I don't have like an overly crazy expression to this. I don't have like a fake personality. This is me being me. Trust me when I say this. I couldn't be more excited. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. It looks so good with the black and gold. So here we go. We get the Cloud. Oh man, this is absolutely beautiful. So this is a reprint card. This was reprinted in 2002 for the set Resurgence of Power. This was the 11th Final Fantasy TCG English set. And again, this is so sick because this is a collab between 2 extremely iconic Final Fantasy illustrators. So if you can see on the bottom, so it's Tetsuya Nomura did the original character design, but it's Amano's artwork for those characters. Like, absolutely insane collab, right? Think of 2 massive Pokemon illustrators coming together into one bit of artwork there. But to have the all black background, the hollow foil on the moon there, the black on the back, oh man, that looks absolutely gorgeous. So what I think I might do, so Vaulted, the company that I showed you that has the display, they do 3-card displays, which I don't even care how the other 2 cards turn out. I'm getting a 3-card display. You'll see why it's going to make a lot of sense here in just a couple seconds. But let's get on to the next. Already an hour in, 25 cards. I didn't think it was going to take this long. Oh, so here's the next one in this, the trilogy, if you will. Good old Sephiroth. Absolutely beautiful. Again, same collab here. You have Tetsuya Nomura and Yoshitaka Amano collabing on such beautiful artwork here. Unfortunately, it's not the pristine. You guys see the regular label there, but let's take a look and see how this one goes, and then we'll kind of dive into the card a little bit in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes. Let's go. You know, if you don't get the pristine, that's what you want to see right there. The absolutely beautiful Genmin 10. This is a full art again. This is from the English Final Fantasy TCG set. God damn, that is a beautiful card. Full holofoil background there. Sephiroth in that absolutely insane Amano artwork there. It's just so fitting, right? And these cards are absolutely beautiful. I remember showing these off when I bought them, and they finally came in the mail. It was a mail day however long ago. I don't even remember. But I do remember getting these cards in and just how absolutely beautiful they were. And I mentioned from that day that I was going to get them graded at some point. And to see a pristine and a Genmin 10 for the 2 of them, it's absolutely insane. But there is just one last card. I'm nervous. I'm anxious because, again, it's the 3rd piece to this little trilogy here. I don't know. Let's grab it. Oh, no way. There we go. Oh, my goodness. That's absolutely insane. So, hey, 2 out of 3 pristines. I'll gladly take that. Oh, my goodness. That is so sick. And again, if you're not a fan of Final Fantasy, you probably don't take this in, or you don't understand how exciting this is. Oh my goodness, this is nuts. All right. I don't want to put this into suspense any further, especially because it's already 10 o'clock here. What a way to end this off. Absolutely insane. We're going to do a full recap here in a second, but to end off with not only a pristine, but this card specifically being a pristine. Oh, man. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, my God. There we go. The last piece of this, we get Aerith. Again, the same collaboration, right? We have Nomura and Amano coming together. That is Cloud in the backdrop there, holding Aerith. Absolutely beautiful 3-piece there. And to get 2 of the 3 as pristines, I will gladly take it. I'm not going to buy another Sephiroth and try and get it pristine. I'm not going to just go and buy a pristine. I'm totally okay with this. And it's, you know, I think it makes it even better is how it's just like that clash, right? Like even the 10, it fits so perfectly with the Sephiroth artwork and the backdrop of the card. The other 2 getting pristines, it's just perfect. But yes, all 25 cards have been shown. Let's do the recap. And then, yeah, I'm blown away, dude. This is absolutely insane. So, move these off to the side. I will sleeve all these, except for the cards that are going to go into the displays. I'm just going to put them back in the box for the time being until those displays come in. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put this here because, again, this card is just as important as all the others. But here we go. All 18 of the Coca-Cola Square Final Fantasy collab. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fit all these. Let's see. What would be the best way to do this? Thinking on the fly here. Let me see. Let me move these out of the way for right now. Trying to make room for this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's see. Move these Sorry, I'm scrambling now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I don't know if we'll be able to fit all these. We're sure as hell going to try. All right. Carefully. Carefully. I'm not trying to scratch these up or mess any of these up. Even though they're going to stay with me in the personal collection for this foreseeable future, I have no intent in breaking apart this set, or let alone someone else having this set. If you want to grade your own, best of luck to you. But there are all 9 cards from Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 8. Let me just do this. Maybe I'll be able to showcase it a little bit cleaner. I'm trying to find a way to do all this. It's not going to fit in camera. All right, hold on. One more thing. Let me try it this way. You guys, if you guys know me long enough, you know how scatterbrained I can get sometimes, or the OCD kicks in, and it won't just let me be like, okay, yep, you're good to go. Just stick with that. Let's see. Did I keep all these in the correct order? I think that I did. Okay, cool. All right. So, all the Final Fantasy 8 cards, all the Final Fantasy 7 cards. All right, let's try this again. Sorry, guys, just how my brain works. Let's try and lay all these out. There's going to be a bit of a glare, but again, bear with me here. If it gets a little blurry, it's all right. I'm going to post pictures after the fact. They're going to go up on Instagram. You guys keep up with the Discord. And again, I know I've been away, and I appreciate all the support and people reaching out and checking on me. It does mean a lot, especially with what's going on in my military career currently. I'll take all the support I can get. So, again, thank you so much for reaching out and checking on me. It does mean a lot. It truly does. All right. So let's see if I can do it this way, because you can still see. All right, that's kind of the cutoff for being able to see the grades. So let me just slide these up just a little bit. Someone let me know in chat how this looks. I know it's probably going to be blurry. You're going to see some glare, but it's all right. We'll make do. All right. Next. Trying to lay all these out. Absolutely insane. What a collection. All right. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, to get the rest of these out, I'm going to have to carefully lay them on top. Carefully, as I've almost fumbled these cards. Yeah, and I had a feeling there was going to be. But the last card to this, to have a true and full complete set, is, again, the insert, right? And again, just for reference, that's how it sits in the packs when you get them, which looks absolutely sick. But there we go. Technically, all 19 cards for the Final Fantasy Coca-Cola Year 2000 collab. Again, show off the other Tifa that we got. So we got a 9 and a 10. I don't think I'm going to do anything with either one, especially because that's the sequential, and I just have another one. Definitely going to hold on to them. But let me make sure I put these back in order. Again, you guys saw the vaulted displays. As I get the other 2 in, I'm going to showcase it. So in theory, I need to order 3. So I need to order 2 more of the 9-card displays, and then I need to order 1 of the 3-card displays for all of the Nomura Amano collab. But man, absolutely beautiful. And again, cool thing about these before you put sleeves on them is they all stack together, nice and neat. You keep them organized. Absolutely beautiful. We started off so strong, especially with Cloud. I can only imagine the value and price of these cards, right? It's absolutely insane. So, I don't know why I just did that. Hold on. See again how my brain works. So, Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 8. Leave them up here. There we go. The remainder of the cards. So, we got Tifa. This Sephiroth from 1997. Absolutely insane. Such a beauty, especially in that 8.5. Another absolute gem of an Amano artwork here. And again, Nomura characters with Amano artwork. Got the Red 13 and Cloud in that gem mint 10. And then that just, I'm going to be looking at these all night, by the way. Like, it's just, I don't think, even with my phone, and yes, I record all of my content on a phone, it just doesn't encapsulate how beautiful the artwork is for these cards. But oh, hold on, let me do this. Might as well throw this back in here, right? So there we go. 71 minutes later, and we have gone through all 25 cards of my first employee submission with CGC. Again, shout out to CGC. It's been an absolute pleasure working there. It's been so much fun. I'm learning a lot. I'm getting better and better every day. To all the employees that work next to me and help me out through this process, I truly appreciate you. And I can't wait to keep learning more and more from you. Again, I'll follow up with some more pictures. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. We've seen some subs come up in the last couple of days, which I appreciate. We're getting closer and closer to that 900 subscriber milestone. I do have some giveaways lined up for that. Plus, we're going to have another really awesome opening for that, so keep an eye out. The other big thing is, right around the corner will be the 50th submission I've done with CGC, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be insane. It's definitely going to be one of the biggest submissions I've done. Probably one of the most expensive submissions I've done in terms of overall value. But I don't want to spoil anything. Just keep an eye out. But let's shout out everyone that came through. So obviously, Alex and Greg from /frag. Appreciate you, boys. I'll be in Discord here in a minute. Roscoe, the famous, appreciate you coming through. Nugget, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I think that's it. A very, very small group. Again, I knew it was a late stream, but I appreciate the support, whether it's 5 people or 500 people, which I doubt we'll ever get to. I appreciate the support, whether you're here for 5 minutes or the entire stream. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm WakoBako. Take it easy. Thanks, dude. I truly appreciate it.